Hey everybody, welcome back to my Eurovision React Review channel. So this Wednesday we will have semi-final 1 of Benidorm Fest. Now, this morning I was quite shocked to see that one of the 7 artists in semi-final 1, Lunakey, which for a lot of people reading the comments on my Benidorm Fest reaction video, there seems to be obviously quite a lot of support around Lunakey. They will be disappointed to see that Lunakey has decided to withdraw from semi-final 1. So I was looking at the rationale, the reasons behind why Lunakey decided to withdraw, and it would seem that Lunakey is ultimately disappointed that Benidorm Fest will not allow auto-tune. Now, the reasoning behind that must be the fact at Eurovision, you're not allowed auto-tune. Now, I know that some national finals kind of decide to not adhere to Eurovision rules in their national finals, like Melodifestivalen, right? So they have at times multiple backing dancers when we know at Eurovision you're only allowed 6 bodies on stage. So I guess it was up to the Spanish broadcaster and Benidorm Fest to decide whether they were going to kind of go against EBU rules for their national finals, and then obviously if a song wins, then obviously that needs to be addressed. Now, I don't know how I feel about this because, and I think this about Melodifestivalen, why would you do that? In the sense of, surely you want to kind of abide by EBU rules, because if that song wins, then ultimately, if it's breaking EBU rules, you're going to have to sort it out. But the people have voted for that song and that package based on rules that can't be adhered to at Eurovision. So Lunakey must have known that autotune is not allowed at Eurovision. That seems to be a pretty obvious thing. So I don't know whether it was the case that Lunakey ultimately entered Benidorm Fest knowing that they wouldn't win, but basically just as an opportunity to showcase new music and moreover to kind of promote themselves internationally. I mean, obviously, for me, I had not heard of Lunakey before, and I sat down and watched the interview that she did with Wee Blogs the other day. It was quite an interesting interview, actually, and from that, I learned a lot about the artist that is Lunakey, and a lot of the they are a very kind of vocal advocate of the LGBTQ plus community, which is amazing. And they were saying that, you know, they wanted more visibility around Benidorm Fest and national finals and Spanish music regarding LGBTQ plus representation. And so for that reason alone, even though I'm not a huge fan of this song, I will be honest, like, because obviously in semi-final 1 only 4 songs go to the final for this weekend, I don't think it would be in my personal top 4. I don't really listen to it much, but based on that interview, like, I kind of was won over a little bit as an artist that Lunakey is, not necessarily the song. It seems a bit of a shame. I can only assume Lunakey kind of just assumed that Benidorm Fest would allow autotune just to kind of advance and kind of perfect this national final, but it just would have been a little bit false, because if you win with autotune at your national final, you then obviously, do you see what I mean? Like, people are voting for you and then you win, but then you're going to have to go to Eurovision and not have autotune, and it could go horribly wrong. So I do kind of support Benidorm Fest and the Spanish broadcaster's decision to kind of stick to this rule. So it does seem a shame that Lunakey has decided to withdraw, because, like I said in the interview, they seemed very keen on kind of promoting more visibility in regards to LGBTQ plus artists in Spain. So it kind of is a shame that they've withdrawn. But I mean, they've done what they've wanted to do, right? Like, I now know Lunakey, and moreover, people are talking about that song, and that song has had kind of heavy promotion, even though it will not be showcased in semi-final 1 on Wednesday. So a bit of Eurovision drama, and we're only in January. So yeah, so this Wednesday, so we're down to 6 and only 4 can go through. And actually I did a little bit of research earlier because I just was really interested to know how the voting is happening. So it seems that 50% are going to be jury, made up of a multiple kind of music experts. And then 25% is public voting. Czech Republic did that, which I think is quite interesting because on the one hand, if you win Benidorm Fest and only 25% of the votes come from the will of the people, are you therefore going ahead with Spain's backing? Questionable. But moreover, what this kind of system does is it stops really, really big artists with huge social media followings just kind of rinsing the contest with maybe a mediocre song. And the other 25%, they seem to be tapping into what Switzerland and Germany are doing in regards to using some sort of algorithm by getting kind of groups of people that represent different demographics, which I've looked into a little bit because obviously Switzerland and Germany do it. It's quite an interesting model. So they seem to kind of have got a hybrid. Hybrid? If you've got three, is it hybrid? Tribrid? Three things: jury 50%, 25% algorithm, and a 25% public will. So only 4 can go through to the final. So obviously in my spare time I have been listening to these songs, and this morning I was kind of reflecting on where I'm at with them at this stage. So for me, with the 6 that we've got left, I think the one that I listen to the least and the one that I tend to skip, so in 6th place for me, is Unique, Mejores. There's not really much going on with this song, and it's not about me being kind of anti-boy band, because that could be so easy. Not at all. There's nothing really going on in this song for me, and I do tend to skip it. And then obviously we go to 5th and 4th, and I really, really, really struggled. But, and this is kind of controversial, in 5th place for me it's Chanel's Slo Mo. I've been getting back into Christina Aguilera's discography recently. Been having a bit of, I've been having a few Christina Aguilera deep dives, and particularly songs like I wanna do is looking funny, and myself tonight. Tonight I'm not the same. Anyway, regardless, and I kind of thought, you know, those are kind of like iconic songs, and then equally I'll then go to a Eurovision playlist, and then this song will come on, and it is kind of throwaway pop. It really isn't doing anything new, and I found yesterday I skipped it for the first time. It just doesn't hold up to other songs with that sound. So regrettably, that has seemed to have gone down over time, that one. So number 4 is Very Brava, Raffaella. Now, embarrassingly, I'm based in Italy now, and I didn't even get the reference, stupidly, to Raffaella, the queen that is from Italy, who regrettably has recently passed away. Now, for me, it's that that is just an amazing hook, alongside obviously the link to the queen that is Raffaella. I would like this to qualify. I would like to see this to go to the final, certainly. So that's in my 4th place. Okay, my 3rd place is a song that ultimately has steadily but surely gone up in my estimations, and that is Blanca Paloma, Secreto de agua. Now, there is something really haunting about this song, and actually when it gets... The verse, I'm so-so, but the chorus, when the chorus comes on, I cannot help but kind of tune in to what I'm listening to. This song has really risen in my estimations. I cannot say any more regarding that. I would like to see this qualify. I'd like to see this in the final this weekend. And then number 2 and number 1. So, I mean, even more controversial, I'm sure. So for number 2 is Tanxugueiras, Terra, which apparently means land. Now, initially on first reaction, I wasn't completely blown away by this song. I kind of stated in my reaction, it's a sound that I'm kind of familiar with. Not familiar with, but I've heard it before. And obviously it goes without saying, you only need to go to my comment section, that a lot of people seem to be behind this song. And I'm yet to kind of realise whether this is a pan-Spanish feel or whether it is a regional feel, i.e. obviously this band representing a particular culture and region in Spain in regards to the sound of the music and the languages in the song. So I don't know, yeah, whether there is a huge regional support, which means that people are kind of going to YouTube to educate YouTubers like me about kind of the ethnic cultural background behind them, where they're from, and moreover the sound and the language, or whether it's a pan-Spanish thing. I'm yet to kind of be informed on that. Interestingly, because of the multitude of comments, I then obviously kind of took more note of the song, and then kind of YouTubed them a little bit and actually found their song Figa. Is it Figa? That is a good song. I know it's really unfair to turn around and say I prefer Figa to Terra. That's really not appropriate. But in regards to why there's kind of a big following behind this band, listening to Figa, I get that now. And actually, I kind of want to apologise to someone who commented on my video, on my reaction video, who was saying that it kind of, the sound sounds like a sound that you might hear on the continent of India. And because I lived in India for a few years, I kind of was like, no, it doesn't. But actually, when I was listening to it 2 days ago, automatically, it sounds so similar. The beat sounds so similar to a song in an amazing Bollywood film called Ram Leela. The song's called, I've had to write it down because I don't speak, I think it's Gujarati, not Hindi. Nagada Sang Dol. Anyway, there's a song in that film, it's an amazing song, and I believe the sound of that is Gujarati, so a region in India. It sounds so similar, so I just want to apologise to that person when I kind of was like, I'm not sure it does, because it really does. And because of that connection, I've been listening to that song in a different light now, actually. Less so much kind of Celtic connection, more kind of to other sounds that sound similar to this song in that film Ram Leela. And yeah, I can kind of, I mean, yeah. Number 2, Tanxugueiras. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So, I mean, obviously, if you're familiar with all the artists, number 1 for me is Azúcar Malino with Postureo. I'm butchering the Spanish language, I'm so sorry. This song, when it comes on, body takes over, do a whole kind of shoulder shimmy. I know there's going to be people watching this being like, if this goes to Eurovision, it's going to fall flat on its face. I appreciate that, and I think there's probably some truth in that statement. But ultimately, this is kind of my personal ranking, what I personally like and what I personally would like to see through. And actually, it's got nothing to do with the fact that these artists are kind of, or have gone down as kind of Eurovision legends. It's actually based on the song itself and the sound of the song. And when it comes on, it is a lifting song. It does lift me. And like I said, I get involuntary body movements whereby my body just kind of wants to connect with the vibes of the song. And as a result of that, I really, really like it. So I know that's controversial, but fundamentally, I've given my reasoning for it. So yeah, number 1, Postureo. So yeah, the 4 songs, let's just recap. The 4 songs that I would like to see in the final on Saturday are Raffaella, Postureo, Secreto, agua, and Terra. So please let me know what you think. Please let me know what you think about the Lunakey drama. And also please let me know who you would like to see qualify through to the final on Saturday. So until then, stay safe.